Amir, there's a little bit of background noise, so if you could just prove it.
Okay, can you hear me better now? I think background noise is coming from...
I'm not sure it's from Amir. Yeah. Amir, go ahead.
Yes. I'm ready to share some insights later on, and happy to see everybody, happy to see the vertical directors joining us here, and really looking forward for this session. As I would say, an official kickoff. We are here to create tangible outcomes, and this is our focus, and I know this is your focus, and we are ready to rock. Maybe we can have a quick word from our vertical directors as well.
Yeah, of course. So I will first would like to introduce Borja Varela. He is the program director of the esports and media vertical. I'm not sure if all of you guys know that we have a few different verticals during this program. So we have a program director for each vertical, and Borja is the one that is in charge of the esports and media. Borja, please say hi and introduce yourself.
Thanks, Eleanor. Thanks. It sounds really nice how you pronounce my name, I have to say. I really appreciate it. Just saying a quick introduction on my side. As you can feel, I'm from Spain. My nice name, let's say, gives a hint on that. I come from the telecom and media industry. I've been working for more than 20 years in the industry. The last few years, let's say, I've been more on working for a large conglomerate in telecom and media. Among other things, that company or that, let's say, that group is owner of Formula One, and also is the largest cable operator worldwide, and has a lot of assets and activities and digital, etc. So I recently, let's say, joined in the HYPE family, supporting HYPE family on this vertical. The vertical in sports and media, for those who are not familiar with, basically is looking into technologies and services that they will support activity and the development, etc. In those two sub-verticals. So we're not so much focused on game developers or on the content aggregators, but more on companies that they are providing analytics, solutions, gamification, user profiling, many different, we have in our cohort VR, AR solutions. We have also created content. So it's a large variety of companies. You will get to know them, if not through this session, in other sessions. I'm really happy, I have to say, with the companies in my cohort. There are 15 companies. As I said, really nice mix, really nice mix of expertise and different backgrounds. People there, companies there are a little more early stage, so the companies more mature. Really looking forward to see the developing of the program and how that actually there are synergies, and I want to stress that today, how there are synergies among the different verticals, not only among, let's say, in contact with the directors, but also the different companies. So I invite you, all those other companies, other verticals, please, of course, reach HYPE team, reach myself, reach me, reach the companies in the other verticals. We are happy to facilitate that, and so you can always contact us, because I know for sure there are many different potential synergies for sure with clubs and federations. Yesterday I was in the Gerard's vertical on high performance. I have seen also quite some nice companies there that could be having a benefit of.
Also, some kind of vote of trust and investment. If you think that the requests are totally different from a brand or an investor, not always. There is a lot of similarities in the checklist that investors are looking at and your potential strategic partners or customers. Go-to-market strategy, where are you the master of selling, and do you have what it takes to bring business home? What about mastering your mindset? As per the example I gave about Scotland, my mindset was terrified. Can I manage it? And are there any tools to manage this and to be able to come in your peak performance when you are pitching to, great brand or a great investor? Execution, what does it mean and how can we do it better? What about the value proposition for investor? What is important to know when we are pitching to investors? What about the team I'm presenting and who is on my advisory board? And last few words about branding and storytelling. All right, are you ready to go? If you have some questions, and Elinor said, you can put it in. If we have time, in the end of the session, I will answer a few. And if not, I will come back to you later on. So, there is a lot of words spoken about this era. I believe it's a new era. And if you look at this chart, which was created by NFX, it's Silicon Valley, okay. I get the message that the sound is not good. Is this still the case? Sound is good? Okay.
Yes, it's good enough.
It comes and goes.
Comes and goes.
Yes.
Let me see what I can do.
Well, that's not with me. For me, it's absolutely.
Yes, it's not perfect, but we can hear you perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. So let me continue. So if you look at this chart by NFX, it's the Silicon Valley VC. There was a golden age in technology overall from the years of 2002 to 2012. If you look at Google, Facebook, Airbnb, this was the golden age. In the last 6 years, they call it the Ice Age, and now the belief is that we are in front of a new wave. One of the reasons for the new wave is, if you look at that, there is a new level of acceptance and change in behavior. I sat today with one of our investors in the fund, and he told me, in one of my boards, every year we needed to meet in different parts of the world, and it was always a problem where we meet. A problem, because nobody can, and now we just move to Zoom, and that's it. It's going to stay forever in Zoom. Why do we need to travel all the world? So this, if you take this to our day-to-day, to how clubs are operating, all the concept of automation and digitalization is moved. They say that 2030 is very close. Yeah, this has impact on a lot of things we're doing today. Okay, people are they're more open now to communicate with you and to do business online. This may implement that you can change your sales funnel. Maybe you can sell without a human interaction. This may implicate the pricing. Startups are asking me, do I need to have a post-corona product? I don't know, maybe. There is an expectation now to make an amendment, especially for investors, but we will touch it a bit later. In terms of teams and suppliers, I say it's a great idea to get rid of average employees. Yeah? Employees, there are so many great people out there now waiting, looking for their next challenge because of what happened. It's a great opportunity for us to think, are the people that we have in our team the best people that we can employ? The same with suppliers. Sometimes in the past, we used to take suppliers which sometimes were not the best. Now everybody's craving for work. We can upgrade our suppliers. And overall, it's time to look at new strategy. Maybe what you're doing is perfect, you don't need to change it. I would invite you to reconsider that and to talk to serious people you trust. because this is a new era, and I believe there has to be modifications for the customers, for the users, and also for the investors. Let's talk a bit about validation and credibility. Yesterday, I had a chat with a startup that shared with me that they have a great technology in sports, and they're looking to raise $1 million. And I asked him, okay, great. Do you have a validation for the technology? He said, yeah, we've done it with a few friends. And then he said, I asked him, okay, but do you have a third? Have you tested it somewhere? Like, I don't know, you went to test it anywhere with a third party, customer, I don't know, 100 users? No, we are looking to raise the money for that. If I'm an investor, again, you can find sometimes investors, I call them not professional investors, which will invest in you without any real validation. But validation is, professional investors will look for real validation that you've created. Now, in his case, it wasn't a lot of money. It was just a lack of ideal that instead of investing in more features in the product, go invest 20K that you have and create a validation where customers can say, wow, okay, this is working. It's not just a great technology as you say it is. It's actually, these are the feedback we got from 100 people tried it. The other validation is the business model. I don't know about your business model, but for me, I had in different products, sometimes I changed my business model 5 times until I find the right one. Do you have even after a couple of years in the business? And business model validation is something that, obviously it will give you the confidence to push forward and to look at the eyes of the investor, but also the investor would like to see that it's not about only validation of the product, but also the business model is validated. And sometimes it takes a little bit of creativity and not a big investment to do that. Now, some of you may already have validation and great customers. Great. But there is always the next level of validation. Because sometimes if you want to sell to Europe, you need to have first installation in Europe. Or if you want to sell to the States, you need to have first pilot in the States. And in terms of credibility, do you have a happy testimonial from the right caliber of partner or investor? Sorry, or a customer. The right testimonial. Now, sometimes, and through the connections that you have and that you will have through the HYPE accelerator, there is I would say, shortcut to be able to create this, because when you look at investors and their mindset, this is something that gives them a lot of reassurance and makes a big check on a big topic when they talk to you. Because sometimes you don't understand, we have a great product, we prove it right, but sometimes because of the fear of losing that the investors or the big brand has, and the fact that they don't see any big name using your product already or did a pilot with them, it's just this, 1 cent missing for them to say, yes, let's move forward. Now, this saying from Elon Musk, making a slightly better product from the competition is not good enough. I love it. And I think as a rule of thumb, if you look at that, sometimes we say, okay, this is the competition, ours is a little bit better. The question is, can you make it much, much better? And it's not always about investment and about technology. It's very often about mindset. It's about service. It's about understanding the needs of the customer. Do I really understand the needs and the challenges of my customer? Sometimes making a better product is not about investing in other features, it's about understanding better what they really, really need. What is the real pain? So, you know, I'm sure you're familiar. If we're going down to number 3, go to market. You know, people say, yeah, of course, we know how to sell. We have a sales team or we have a salesperson. Let me just put the air condition up. I want to ask you, you know, sometimes I see great startups, amazing product, going nowhere because they don't have the sales hustle, what I call mean machine. Let me tell you a simple story. When we started HYPE, it was in 2015, but the first big event was in Rio 2016. And we took a decision to have a big sport tech event and competition in Rio during the Olympic Games. Now, how do you bring people? We were nobody. Now, I remember myself sending 1,000 LinkedIn messages to industry leaders, and 25 eventually, which were already in Rio, said yes. Now, when people came to the event, they told me, wow, how did you manage to bring all those people? The head of the Olympic Committee, and Nike and Adidas and what, teams. No, I sat for 4 months during everywhere I was, and I sent 1,000 messages, and 975 said no. Now, when I'm saying mean machine it's not everything about us, but we need to surround ourselves with experts and to really understand our market. Now, you know this chart, yeah? The law of distribution of innovation. If I ask you in the middle of the night, who are your innovators? Who are your early adopters? Would you be able to say their characteristics? Where are they? Where do they eat? What Facebook teams they are staying in? Where are they in LinkedIn? Do you know their pains? If I'm selling something to somebody, I need to know those characters, the innovators. Obviously, then you go to early majority, and then you get into the market, and then you do an IPO and exit, and everybody's happy. But in the beginning, in order to sell to the first customers, and this is where we are now, all of you. Even if you already have some good customers, how do we do that? And how do we create this mean machine and process? And that's something that we can always get to the next level in. Let me say a few words about the number 4, the mindset master. One of the things that I took after I sold my company, I took a course of about 2.5 years of managing teams to peak performance. And I've learned so much. I was over 40, 45, something like this. And I was crazy. I said to myself, how didn't know that? If I knew that in the age of 30, and the idea was about how can I be effective and run teams effectively? And how can I be a very effective communicator? I met a startup recently after I was part of a panel before the Corona, and when we finished the panel of investors, he approached me and he started, he wanted to ask questions. There were many startups around, and then he started telling me that his wife left him, and he's just, the IRS are just following him because he has some debts. And I thought to myself, what's going on? You have 2 minutes with me, and this is what you're sharing. With all due respect, I understand And but we have 2 minutes now. You have the opportunity to enroll me, perhaps to do something with you. And I see a lot of, again, experienced entrepreneurs which are not communicating effectively. My invitation to you is to use these weeks coming up to improve your communication dramatically. So when you say something, it makes a difference. It's not about opinions. Opinions do not count. It's about meaningful communication that create effective communication. What does it mean, effective communication? It's communication that creates results, impact the bottom line. Yeah. If you're getting out of a sales meeting, was this, meaningful and creating results? If you had a call with potential advisory board that you saw in the one of the sessions of the accelerator, and you thought to invite him to be one of your advisory board members, was this call of 10 minutes effective? Did you use the time to really enroll him so he is fully inspired by who you are and what you're doing? Or you were just mumbling? Now, again, it's not something we are born with. It's something we develop. It's like a muscle. I used to learn my heart by pitching. The pitching, I learned it by heart, like an actor on stage. Now imagine if you know your elevator pitch by heart and you meet, I don't know, you name it, one of the biggest investors, yeah, for 1 minute, and you meet him in an event or you pitch him online. If you know it by heart, what happens? Any idea?
You're able to pitch to them and communicate effectively what your message is and what you're trying to get out of the conversation.
Yes, but more than that. Because you know it by heart, you don't need to think about it. So you can listen effectively to what he's saying. And you can be effective in answering and creating a relationship. You know those people, when you talk to them, they look at the floor and they think what to say to you. They're not with me when they're talking. So let me just mention 3 tools which are relevant, and in the future, if we can find time, maybe I can elaborate on them. But just to throw you this, and you can investigate on that on yourself. Meeting mastery. Meeting mastery means that, in the end of the day, you can have the best product, but if you're not deadly effective in your meetings, Zoom meetings as well, your business will not thrive because you won't be able to create close deals, enroll people to be part of your journey. So if you're a mastering meeting means that you know how to get the result. You know what works. You have your stories. You have your authenticity. You work on that and you build this muscle. There are different stages of that. And if we have time in the future, we will go through it. But coming into a meeting, every meeting I go, I have a list of what are the expected outcomes that I'm anticipating in this meeting. Who am I going to be in this meeting? Regardless of the other side. What kind of leadership I'm bringing to the meeting, regardless of the other side. I have few scenarios for the meeting. I get myself ready. And then I ask myself in the end, was this achieved? So there are certain, it's not something natural. Okay, let's go to the meeting and, let's do it. Yeah, it's at least not for me. Maybe some of you, are, born so talented and they do it like that. And I know somehow it didn't work for me. I needed to work and be, create myself effective in meetings. The other point is about enrollment and registration. That for me was mind-blowing when I saw it, because the idea was you know, when I went to first of all, we are all selling all the time, yeah? Are we in agreement for that? We are all selling all day, all the time, yeah? Even to our kids, to our wives and you know, our partners, we are about enrolling them to do something, yeah? It's about enrollment, yeah? You know the word enrollment, yeah? I want the kids now to go to the bathroom, yeah? It's about process of enrollment, yeah? It's about how effective are we? Now, I thought when I was young that I need to start a sales pitch and then I go for the close. No, there are two parts of sales. Same with investment. The first part is enrollment, where you need the other side to be fully inspired by you, enrolled by the opportunity for himself. And then, only then, I go for the registration, which is about closing the deal. Most of us are going to close the deal before the other side is fully enrolled, and then we get the no. It's like when I was dating my wife, if I was too fast and I wanted to bring her to my home, if she wasn't inspired, enrolled by me, no chance. So first the customer has to be enrolled. Enrolled means inspired, but also he get the opportunity for him. People are doing things because they see the opportunity for them. If I'm talking to a brand and I almost, you know, I talk to a club and I want to sell him a project of innovation and he's the head of innovation and I talk to him only how good it will be for the brand, no good. It has to be good for the person. Is he going to be better? Is he going to be a champion now of the club? Is it going to help him be promoted? I need to find this champion in every club or in every brand that will see the opportunity for him. You know, a lot of us are doing these mistakes. What do you mean? How can't you see the value for in the product? It will make your business much better. It will make you tons of money. But if the person does not see the opportunity for him, it's not enough. So enrollment and registration are the art of getting people enrolled, understanding their needs, their game plan, their aspirations. Yeah? We've managed to close deals with UEFA, with Spalding, with Nike. Not because they thought, wow, only HYPE can give us a solution. We found one champion. And we understood what will make it for him. In addition, obviously, to give tons and unbelievable value for the company. Third topic here, I call it rock shock. Rock shock is a nice, or another word, I wouldn't say nice, yeah, but another word for the 1 minute elevator pitch. What is your rock shock? What is your one minute elevator pitch? I would say that if I talk to most of you, again, I would say about 50%, and I ask you now to stand up and give me your 1 minute, it's probably not going to be very good. Some of them may have it killer, it's a killer. But this 1 minute is very important. People meet you like that. Hey, you know, let me talk to, I don't know, Susanna. Yeah? I'm not going to put you on the spot. Don't worry, all good. But I'm meeting you now for 2 minutes and I'm asking you, Susanna, what are you doing? And you have this opportunity now to explain to me and to make me really interested in what you're doing. And there is different ways of doing it in 2 sentences. Yeah? For example, I had a lady coming to me and said, Amir, I have this great idea. We have 3 ladies going to disrupt the e-gaming and I need 100K. And then after communicating and talking for a few hours and talking about this speech as well, she came back and then she said, I'm a student in for engineering for 5 years. We are 3 lady entrepreneurs which created an app in gaming that is going to disrupt the industry and offer this to lady gamers. We have great partners already in place, and I would like to set up with you and share with you what we're doing. And she said, one more, she said, hi, my name is Hadass. I'm an engineer and I'm addicted to gaming. That's how she started the second pitch. I'm addicted to gaming. She got my attention. Now the pitch was totally different. Now listen how changing few words, it seems, I have a great product. Why do I need to think about, making different words? It makes a difference. Because, when earlier we heard that we have great partners in this program, and we have FIBA, and we have great, really partners from all walks of sports, clubs, teams, esport, everything. But those people are looking at a lot of innovation every year, hundreds if not thousands. Why should they care and why should they listen to you? How is your 1 minute going to wow them? What is your wow effect? So RockShock is about, she said to me, Amir, I'm a 4-year student of engineering and I'm addicted to gaming. Oops, got my attention. The same lady, the same product, same pitching, different words, different outcome. Let's talk a little bit about execution. We are entrepreneurs, all of you know that already, but the only thing that makes a difference in life is not about what we think, our opinions, who cares? The only thing that makes a real difference in life is execution. You may have the best ideas in the world, you have the best product, by the way, some of you have the most amazing product in the market. But if the level of execution is not top and you have not found yet the way to execute and to get results, this is what's stopping you. Now, I like the concept of do or die factors for startups. Do or die factors, meaning there are certain elements in your business now, I call them do or die, because everything is important, yeah? But there are a couple of things that are must. If you do them, you're in a different position. Can you think about something in your business that if you manage to have these 2 months, you will be in a different position? Can you see that? Can you share? What would that be? Anything? Yes, Jamel.
Yeah, I would say for us, having an endorser that's in one of the professional leagues, specifically American football, someone that would advocate for us and validate our product, that will allow the customers to be able to buy in at a higher level.
Okay, great. Bill, what would you say? Krivak, what will be for you a do or die?
I'm sorry, Mir, can you repeat the question?
What will be for you a do or die factor that if you do it now in the next, in this accelerator, it will put your startup in a different position?
Funding.
Funding. Andre, let's go to you. Schizo.
Hi. Now we have to catch the attention for big influencers right now.
Okay. So yeah, if we look at things we are on our game plan, sometimes we are we are focusing on what's important to us or what we are good at, but we're not focusing on the topics that will make the real difference in our company. Yeah, some of us are focusing on on what they feel comfortable. That's the comfort zone for us. Yeah, if it's an engineer or we are in the product, it's great, new features, but this is not making a difference now to have another feature. What will make a difference is to close a pilot or to get 900 no's and to get one top advisory board from your industry, that big name, that now gives you the credibility you need in order to break through. So those questions are always, for us as startups, always key. And I invite you to put your do or die factors and really put it on the top of your list for the next few weeks. Now, when talking about execution, one of the things that I saw in my startups, and I can see it now in startups I mentor, is that these three topics, accountability, gains, and managing promises, and let me just throw this to you, write it down, we can go into it later on if it's of an interest, you can ask questions on that. But first of all, clear accountability. Some of the startups I'm talking to, there are, I don't know, 4 people, 5 people, 10 people, but there is no clear accountability in the startups. So there is not like a one father or mother that is really taking full accountability. In every team that we have, there has to be one accountable. For example, I can be part of different teams in my company, but there is one accountable for each project. And the accountable is setting his games for the program, for the project. So I don't tell my team, okay, our objectives now are so-and-so. I set the game plan by and large, but they set their own KPIs. And those KPIs are being broken into weeks, month, quarter. So we have clear KPI on every aspect of the business. For some of you, it sounds very, very clear and natural. I know that not everybody is doing that. Do you have a clear gains, what we call, for every topic? How many new customers are you going to talk to this month? How many, I don't know, whatever you do you have clear gains? Now, if I have 2 salespeople in my team, and one of them I ask him, what is your target? He says 10 deals, and the other one says to me, I will do my best, I don't want to put a number. Which is better, you think? I will do my absolutely best. I don't want to put a number. Who is better?
The one that says 10.
You sure?
No, the second one.
The one that will do his best?
Yes, because if only that sales or that person makes 1 or 2, it will be the best of him.
Okay, got it.
For me, the 10, because he's already making a commitment, and so most of the time when you make a commitment in your brain is wired to hit that target. So if he says 10, it's gonna be 10 or more, or it could be, he can say 50, and his brain is gonna be wired to hit that.
Susanna, if you would say 10 in the beginning of the month, that you bring 10 deals, what will happen during the month?
I will focus.
If you will promise me 10, what will happen?
I will be committed to hit that 10.
You will do whatever you can. That's why, by the way, people hate promising. But promising makes us do much better. One of the things I'm inviting all the business science in is to promise all the time. Because when I'm promising something and I put a high promise, nobody will kill me if I don't reach it. But you said 10, now you will be out there making sure that there will be 10. And in the middle of the month, if there is only 2, I can manage it. We can see what is missing. But if somebody says to me, I will do my best, what is your best? And what happens if you come on the wrong side every Monday? Or if you don't feel like it? Once you give your word and you give your promise, we have something to work with. And I can manage the expectation and the resources. And if you said 10 and now it's the middle of the month and you already only sold 2, we need to manage and see what's happening and what is missing to close 10 deals. Is it resources? Is it attention? You know, is it something else that you need? What is missing? It's not about blaming. It's about what is missing, what is needed in order for you to be as effective as you want it to be. Now, if you close 20 deals, great. So we can amend the promise, no problem. Now, this is key. I believe we cannot manage people. I will say it again. We cannot manage people. What we can do is manage the promises. So if you have a clear accountable for every topic in your company, then it's about inviting them to put their gains for this quarter. And then to manage the promises. Okay, you said you will have 60 calls a day, 60 calls a week with customers. And I just saw that you've done 23. What is missing? What else do you need? Do you need more, resources, lists, additional information? What is missing? Like this on every topic. So accountability, gains, and managing promises. And the way we do it, we stand in the future. For me, the best way of doing it, I call it reverse planning. And some of you are doing it already, I know. I'm standing in the future. I want you stand in 3 months from now. Stand in the future. Stand in a year from now. What have you already achieved? Look at it like a done deal. What have you already achieved? And then plan backwards. Quarter by quarter backwards. So if you already have this, new huge customer and 5 average customers in the 4th milestone, what happened in the 3rd milestone that enabled you to do it? And then go backwards to the 2nd milestone and then to now. I don't know if it makes sense. Reverse planning, stand in the future, and then plan backwards in all aspects of the business. Now, when I'm looking at the investor's value proposition, VP stands for value proposition. First of all, I want to understand the investor's mindset. And how does investors think? Investors are, first of all, they have their checklist. We need to be aware of the checklist of the investors and to understand exactly, like anything else, what they're looking for. What is the sweet spot for them? Sometimes a little bit of smart intelligence about the person, about what they're doing, what makes him tick, what's of an interest will help. Also understand that the value proposition I'm creating has to fit also their requirements, their sweet spot. Sometimes it requires few meetings. Now, I love the fact that an entrepreneur sits with us and asks me, Amir, what are you looking for to invest? What's of an interest to you? What would be the perfect investment for you, Amir? Okay, what am I looking for? I have this profile. And then, so it's not like, okay, I'm coming to the investor, I'm doing my pitch and bye-bye. It's about, like any relationship, it's about understanding exactly what they need, what they want. What what are they looking for? And it's, you know, we put too much emphasis on valuation. Valuation is a very small part in that. If I'm an investor and I love the team, I love the product, valuation is a minor thing, because we are building a huge company, and if it's now, you know, 4.5 or 7, the idea is to build it to become $1 million company or $500 million company. So if it was 4.5 or 7, yeah, it's different. But you know, I'm more interested to know if this is the team I wanna start this journey with. And the value proposition has to be also adapted to where we are now. You know, if I'm an investor, if I'm a startup, I want to adjust it to where we are now. You know, if you have a value proposition that you've created 6 months ago, I wouldn't show it as it is to an investor. How did you amend your value proposition so it can be relevant to the new opportunities coming up? Few words about team and advisory board. For me, if I see a great startup that is already have customers and I ask him who is on your advisory board and I see nobody is meaningful, I find it very strange. It's not difficult today through all the challenges we have, through all the channels we have to find great people and to invite them to join our journey. In your advisory board, who are the people that there gives you the credibility? Who are the people that are giving you the edge of the professional side? There are tons of, you know, old people like me in the wrong side of the 50s that still would like to be meaningful and to help young entrepreneurs or, you know, any great inspiration startup. If you, at the moment, if I look at your advisory board and you still have very, I would say, thin team there, it means, I don't know, that you haven't been, I don't know, active enough, or it wasn't in your, I would say, you know, focus. It's a shame, because sometimes it can make a difference in terms of credibility and in discomfort that the customer need or the investors need in order to make this final decision. I know some of you already have tons of great advisory board killer, but maybe it's not diverse enough. Maybe you need somebody from Europe. Maybe you need investment banker there. You know, what else can you add to your advisory board that can give you this edge? You know, remember Elon Musk, you know, being a little bit better is not enough. What can you add to your board that will knock everything up? What chairman can you bring? I don't know. They are out there. You'll get 100 no's and 1 yes. And in terms of the team, again, you know, all I can say that we cannot do on our own, we cannot be successful. We have to have a very strong team around us. I have only, you know, I'm limited. I know I'm good at certain things. I have a limited, you know, telephone list. And I have only 24 hours, 16 hours of work. When I have a team, new skills, new abilities, new outreach, different positions, different mindsets. This is the power. You know, HYPE grew very fast, not because, only because of a diverse, strong team and great people around it. And I'm asking you, is your team diverse enough? Is it strong enough? Is it the dream team you need in order now to go to the next level? Do you need change? It's okay. We all know the story about the purple cow, yeah, by Seth Godin, and just repeat it briefly for, you know, people that just to refresh your memory maybe. Seth Gooding was telling a story. He went to London and he drove towards north, and then his kids were very excited about the cows. And then suddenly, after 30 miles without, of cows, suddenly you don't see the cows because there's so many cows, you don't see them. So he said, wow, would it be great if there would have been a purple cow? I'm asking you, what is your purple cow? What is the difference and the wow effect that you bring? It doesn't have to be huge, but it could be a story that you tell about yourself that inspires people and get you connected to you. It can be a special vision you have. It can be about, the level of service and your commitment. In addition to that, I often find it very surprising that I see a great startup and then I log into the website or I get their brochure or a proposal, a value proposition of the company, and it looks disaster. Now, my invitation to you in terms of, I've learned it also in the last, in the last few years. Value proposition that you send to somebody has to tell your story. I, by the way, send a value proposition of about 15 pages. Yes, 15 pages. I share about the HYPE values. I share the story. I share about our passion and about our commitment and about our testimonials and success stories and what we learned and the people around us. And in the end, the value proposition addressed to the customer exactly after I investigated exactly what will make him tick and what will be a proposal that he cannot say no to. If you thought about the concept, try to send proposals to customers that they cannot say no to. Because of the extra value and the extra you give them, not to make it a product. It can be a very expensive product. You can make tons of money there, but they still, one thing, what is a fair price? The definition of a fair price. Fair price is not about selling in a good price and not making enough money. Fair price can be that you make tons of money. Fair price is about the value you give. Yeah. If I'm a tax advisor and I'm the expert and I have knowledge which is amazing and I learned it for 20 years and one of my advisors can save this guy $3 million, I'm charging $10,000 for 10-minute call. 10,000 for 10 minutes? Yes. Is it a fair price? He saved this guy $3 million. Yes, very fair. Fair price is about the value you give. Now, creating extraordinary value to the customer so he cannot say no is about understanding the real needs of the customer and providing him something that from all the aspects, it's just fit into exactly what he wants and needs at the moment. To summarize, we talked about the 8 golden rules. We talked about why this is a new era with great new opportunities. We talked about validation and credibility and what else you can do in order to take your validation credibility to the next level. Validation is an ongoing story because the more you want to go to bigger customers, to different geographics, validation needs to go up. What's your go-to-market strategy and how can you be a mean machine in sales? And how can you create a sales structure and system using automation, using great CRM? How is your CRM look like? Mindset mastering. How can I come to the next level of being effective in my communication? How can I be more effective in every interaction I'm doing? In this course I went to in London, there was 3 months which we practiced cleaning every toilet that we see. We get every public toilet we went to, we need to clean it. Why is that? Anybody, any idea? I went to a public, let's say to a pub. I went to the toilet. I needed to clean the toilet. It was messy before I came. Why was that? It was about practicing leaving a place better than it was before. If you take this idea as mindset and you think about this for meeting everybody, anybody, whether it's teams, people from your team, investors, is getting this notion of empowering them, whatever the outcome is. We spoke about execution and the concept of having your accountable, very clear clarity on accountables, gains, and promises, and how it's very difficult, if not impossible, to manage people. What we can do is empower them, and we can manage their promises. And when we are building a value proposition for investor, we want to understand what they're looking for and build something that is relevant for them. There could be some generic value proposition, but I am talking to the investor and I would like to understand more what they're looking for. And the idea of putting together a powerful team. You know, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we feel alone. Yeah, very much so. And the muscle of being master in team leadership helps a lot. And branding, storytelling is, you know, let's make sure that our value proposition tells the story of who we are. It's not only about having a great product. Sometimes your product is intangible, nobody knows how it will work. But if you manage to touch their heart and who they are, and you manage to tell a story, it always, you know, create this context, which helps becoming more effective in what we do. Any questions? If you have a question, just open your mic and feel free to share.
Hello, Amir. Thank you very much for your time. It was really interesting to have your view and going through all of these 8 golden rules. If you would have to select one of them, or if you would have to prioritize one of them, would you have a ranking, or would you implement them or work on them depending on each of these startups? I mean, do you have a pattern for that, or it depends on the startup itself?
It's a good question, Lucia. Thank you for that. It very much depends on where you are in your startup and what's your focus these days. You know, you can take, you can take perhaps 1 or 2 things from each one of them, but the focus is where you are now. If you're in execution mode and this is your do or die now, you need to get your customers in, let's do that. Yeah, execution. If you're about usually, yeah, so it's very much depends on where you are now. Yeah. I'm not sure this answers your question. This
Thank you.
Yeah. Simon.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, Simon. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you very much also from me for your presentation, Amir. I have 2 questions. First of all is, can you recommend some book or some other literature on the effective communication? And the other question would be, like, if we're thinking about building up an advisory board, well, this advisory board should be diverse, yes, but how big should this advisory board be? And how globally spread, for example, because it makes sense to also, well, keep good connections to them and also among them. I guess.
Thank you for this. What is your startup doing, Christoph? Tell me a little bit.
Well, you know that all professional sports teams use video analysis to improve their athletes.
Yeah.
And we designed a product that also enables smaller teams that don't have the possibilities to have like professional analysts to do that, but just enable the coaches to do that themselves.
Okay. What is the ranking you give Christoph for his 1 minute rock shock? 1 to 10? Christoph, you had now 1 minute. What did you say, Jamel? What rank did you give it?
No, I would give it an 8. He didn't get to finish. I think he still had about 20 more seconds there. But I completely understood it though, so that was the biggest thing. He asked the question, yeah. he drew me in, and then I understood it.
Okay, you had a 1 minute opportunity, the first one today, to speak to all the vertical directors which have all those connections and all those startups and all the HYPE team and me. Did you use the best of this opportunity to get us all inspired and want to talk to you after this call?
Since this is a question directed at me, well, I was quite frankly not aware that I had like a full minute. So for me, this was more the version of like a 2-sentence pitch than a 1 minute pitch. I think in 1 minute I could still do better, but yeah. Considering I left off some time, it was okay.
All good, Christoph. But life is like that. It's not that you're, usually you meet those people randomly. You talk to them. It happens. You have a quick chat. Every opportunity like this is an opportunity which for us can be the make or break. Now, I'm sure that if you now go to practice and we meet in 2 weeks' time, and I ask you, Christoph, what do you do? You will give me 40 seconds, which will blow my mind. I want to talk to you after the call. Call me straight after this meeting. And this is, you know, it's about, you know, being okay and, you know, be okay, or being very effective. Now, in your type of business, coming back to your question, yeah, you know, if your customer, you're in the space of performance and analytics, yeah, I would, and you're based in Europe, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. If I were in your shoes, I probably would put on my advisory board, I would say at least 4 or 5 people. One of them, top analytics. One of them is top performance guy from one of the teams, X, player X, coach X. You know, in which country are you?
Germany.
Germany. Ooh. So I would approach, you know, in Germany, if I look at experts in performance, coaches, I'm sure there is a list of 5 people that comes to everybody's mind. Some of them are old now, in over 60, and are not employed. For you, for them, they can really feel alive again by joining you. You're doing them a favor by inviting them over. Now,
okay.
You know, if I can throw a few names in Germany, but imagine that you have one of those 2 top managers in your advisory board, what kind of credibility this will give you in the industry when you then go to any other potential strategic customer and this guy, this top national team performance director is with you, or a Dortmund coach, which was expert in performance and analytics. He brought analytics before analytics was exist. Like Moneyball, he was the Moneyball of Dortmund. and you have him on your board. Wow. It's not difficult. Is it, is it a process? Yes. Difficult is to build the house with your own hands. It means that you need to call, 100 coaches, yeah? 200. And then you get one yes. And then you go to the analytic expert. Maybe you go to the ESPN, you get the top analytics because you want an American guy to help you. And you get the top analytics for ESPN, who is, I don't know, between jobs now or whatever. But yeah, it's all part of the story. Now, if you come in with this line of advisory board and trying to sell your product, it's a different story. Yeah? It doesn't mean that people will buy your product, like that. But it's a different ballgame. Yeah? Last question, because I know time is up.
Thank you very much, quickly, for the question. I have one really quick follow-up. With the points 1 to 10, how many points would you have given me?
Sorry?
For my quick pitch, how many points would you have given me?
I think you got, let's say, if I was, if my mood is very good, it was 7. And it wasn't that good, my mood. So, yeah, I'm sure you can do much better. And if you do it now after the pitch to your colleague, you will see how, better it is. And every opportunity like that is the one, never know who is on the other line. And you will have tons of opportunities like that in your pitching. Yes, some of the pitching will be like closed doors and it will be home team and you can make your mistakes and you can practice and we all support each other. But there will be a lot of opportunities where people will introduce themselves and yeah, this is your chance to stand out of the crowd. And you don't want to miss it. Last question. If there is one.
Amir, Victor from Upstart Select here. What would be one thing that you would avoid at all costs with somebody on your advisory board?
Victor, what is your business?
We are a platform that is helping connect independent developers to investors and bring more investment into the indie game market.
Okay. What rank did you give Victor?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, Victor answered your question, so he didn't give a pitch. If you ask him to give a pitch, I think he will do better. He answered the question clearly.
Every opportunity, when somebody asks you what is your business, you have now a few seconds, yeah?
I know. I'm taking care of him.
Like crazy.
I know, I agree.
You have this platform that is putting investors and great opportunities together, yeah? And I ask you, what is your business? So take a look at this for a second, yeah? You know this idea that you have great investors and great opportunities and sometimes they never meet? We have created this platform that will enable whatever, yeah? Or anything about you that will make me, wow. It doesn't matter. But I want to remember you when we close you had an opportunity to talk. But, okay. So, what's your question again? I forgot it.
What would you avoid with regards to
avoid from advisory board? Yeah, advisory board, first of all, it's not a board, yeah? It's not executive board. So people that cannot really, you can give them a little bit of options in your company, but it's not people that are influencing your day-to-day. So, and also you have an agreement that if they're not performing or you're not happy or it's not working, you can say goodbye to them. So it's not really, I would say, a Catholic marriage, yeah, where now you're stuck to each other, yeah. It's like, so, you know, but I would focus on what will bring value to my business and what would the investor will expect to see on my advisory board, yeah. But by and large, I'm focusing on positive people. You know, they say that the 5 close people to you, you are the average of the 5 closest people to you. Yeah, you are the average of the 5 closest people to you. So if you're the people around you are negative, pessimistic, you know, depressed, guess what?
I'll be depressed.
The people around you are optimistic, great, see the future, you know, they are excited. Guess what? So if you put yourself in the advisory board, great people, inspiring, looking at the positive side, and every opportunity, in every, you know, supportive, optimistic, obviously it will help.
Thank you, Amir.
All right. Eleanor, are you still here? Zvika?
Hey, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. Lenore had to take care of her young daughter.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
That's more difficult than running a startup. Take care of your young daughter.
that could be, you know, that could be a spin-off of Gazella. You already know everything that needs to be known about women, so use it. Okay, so Amir, I'd like to, you know, on behalf of all the startups, thank you very much for the session. It was, in my view, it was exactly as we hoped it will be, as a strong kickoff, because it gives the overview that we need to be here in terms of the state of mind and the tools that will accompany us throughout the program. And I invite all of you here to really take notes of the golden rules. We will also, of course, share the presentation later on, so you can have it and review and return to it whenever you want. And at this positive note, I'd like again to welcome all of you to the programs. Later on, you will get an email invite to our community platform, Click, that we've mentioned so many times, so we can start doing the actual engagement and everything else. Also, you received just a recap, you know, administrative things. All of you received a link to the program calendar, so you can embed it in your own calendars, the Google Drive, the Outlook, etc. Please make sure to use it, so you will know in advance regarding all the sessions and the invites and the link and the information. And that's it. We wish you a wonderful day, night, and the rest of the week. And we'll see you on Thursday on the next session on the program. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.